Here are genius people who beat the system. This sign says it's reserved for green vehicles. And let's just say this guy took this a little too literally. This camp requires kids to write a letter home after the first week. I mean, he gets an A+ for honesty. One of these signs say pay for parking at Paybox. And the other one says tow zone. So he decided to park right in the middle. Food isn't allowed in the living room. His tablet isn't allowed in the kitchen. I wish I was that smart when I was a kid. Genius kids who beat the system. This girl had a test where she had to name 2D shapes like circles and squares. She didn't know any of them, so she gave them actual names. So technically, she's right. A mom was giving her son some chores. So she put a post-it note on a shirt that said, "Can you hang this out, please?" And I guess he did what she said because he hung the post-it note. This mother told her son to not go outside. But this kid really wanted to go outside, so he just made sure to keep his feet indoors. Genius people who beat the system. This city street sign said slow children at play. And someone put cardboard beneath that and said some fast ones too. This sign said no bicycle riding, no rollerblading, no roller skating, no skateboarding, and no scooter riding. But it didn't say anything about unicycling. This kid's mom told him to not step a foot outside. Well, technically, he's not. On a test, this kid was asked who owns Greenland, and the hint was not Greenland. So the kid wrote not Greenland, and the teacher marked it right. On a test, a kid was asked what ended in 1986, and this kid wrote 1985. Genius people who beat the system, and the last one left me speechless. This kid was told he wasn't allowed to play video games until he ate half his hot dog. Pretty extreme, but technically he ate half of his hot dog. This kid's mother would lock up the electronics every time he got grounded. Little did she know you could just remove the drawer above. Nice. This pool doesn't allow drinks at the pool. So these guys got creative and made a 30-foot straw. Genius. This school's dress code doesn't allow shorts. So on a hot summer day, these boys decided to wear skirts instead. I wonder what the teacher said. This boy was told to go outside and get some fresh air, but he wasn't told he couldn't bring his laptop, and now this kid is going places. And lastly, this kid was sick of having a slow computer, so they found a brilliant solution. Now this is genius. Genius people who beat the system. This kid is using 2 bananas as a phone stand. Gotta work with what you got, right? Someone wanted to have a party but didn't want their parents finding out. So they took a screenshot and printed it out for the camera to look at. Electric bikes are really expensive, so this kid just bought a hoverboard and used it to power his bike instead. When your parents say you can only eat half a hot dog, this is what happens. Someone really didn't want their loofah getting stolen, so they locked it up. But you could just cut the string and take it, so what's the point? Here are 5 genius people who beat the system, and trust me, you're gonna want to see the last one. This guy forgot his belt, so he just made one out of paper. This company has a rule that all drinks need to be in a cup with a straw. So this person just simply put their can of Monster in the cup and added the straw. This sign says no bicycle riding, rollerblading, roller skating, skateboarding, or scooter riding. Well, they didn't say anything about unicycle riding. Marcus asked Denise to send a picture of her in a bra. And that's exactly what she did. Brilliant. And lastly, this parking spot says it's reserved for green vehicles. Looks like this person took it a little too literally. People who beat the system. This person was asked what they wanted for their birthday and they replied with whatever. So that's exactly what they got. Happy birthday, here's your ladle. This person was asked to buy rolls and that's exactly what they did. They bought every type of roll that exists. This person didn't have any clean bowls to eat their cereal with, so they just made their own. This sign says, please check if you flushed, and people actually wrote check marks. Genius people who beat the system. A couple didn't feel like paying for their food, so they decided to just fake a proposal to get free dessert. A teacher wouldn't allow students to eat in class, so a girl filled her empty chapstick with cheese so she could sneak it in. A man in Turkey was banned from his favorite soccer stadium, but he wasn't about to miss the biggest game of the year, so he decided to rent a crane that was big enough to watch over the stadium. These signs say you have to pay for parking on the left left and you'd get towed on the right. And this guy found a genius loophole to avoid doing either. Lastly, a guy didn't feel like paying for Ubers, so he would just walk to a nearby restaurant and DoorDash food from there. And when the driver came, he would just hitch a ride because they were going to his house anyways. So he got food and it was cheaper than buying an Uber. Genius people living in 3022. This person wanted to measure the trees in his yard, so he used Photoshop. What a Chad. This person was tired of being stuck in his office, so he brought the outdoors inside. This guy found a way to use his headphones without any hanging cords. This has to be the coolest poncho I've ever seen. Where can I get one? Why pay for better seats? All you need is a pair of binoculars and a phone. Now that's genius. Genius people who beat the system. This kid is using 2 bananas as a phone stand. Gotta work with what you got, right? Someone wanted to have a party but didn't want their parents seeing, so they took a screenshot and printed it out for the camera to look at. Electric bikes are really expensive, so this kid just bought a hoverboard and used it to power his bike. When your parents say you can only eat half of a hot dog, this is what happens. Someone really didn't want their loofah getting stolen, so they locked it up. But you could just cut the string and take it, so what's the point? Genius inventions that should exist everywhere. Police forces in Dubai have officially adopted real hover bikes. They have 4 propellers and can fly up to 40 miles per hour. It helps the police get around congested cities easier, and they're able to get to people they need quicker than ever before. Next, 20 different cities in France have already implemented this. It allows you to charge your phone using pedal power. The goal of the company is to promote a healthy lifestyle. People who use the bike also get free Wi-Fi. Next, these gloves can translate the physical movements of sign language into spoken language. Now, people without the ability to vocalize can communicate with non-sign language speakers. Next, with this adjustable hot sauce, you can pick your spice levels. The clever device mixes a blend of mild and hot sauce. So all you have to do is twist the cap and select the level of heat you want. Genius food inventions we need in our life right now. This bowl separates the milk and the cereal. I like my cereal soggy, so this is a terrible idea. This is for the beginner trying to learn how to use chopsticks because they usually just give up. Genius. With this gadget, you can spray lemon juice and maybe even use it as your new perfume. A portable toaster. Now I can toast my bread when I'm at the gym, at school, or maybe even relaxing in my bath. And lastly, bread gloves. Now you can warm up your hands and have a little snack at the same time. Wow. Most genius designs ever made. This street lamp is always holding an umbrella over this bench so you can stay dry even when it's raining. These carpet puzzle pieces make any hardwood floor look sick. Where can I get these? This sponge holder makes your sponge look like SpongeBob. Wow, I just said sponge like 5 times. Ladies and gentlemen, we finally made it. We finally have band-aids with different skin colors. This is smart. It's a fork that splits in half and turns into chopsticks. This mouse pad is a mini carpet. This is giving me major babushka vibes. This red light has an hourglass countdown so you can see exactly when the light turns green, which would be very useful for street racing, which by the way, you should not do because it's illegal. Genius inventions that really should just be everywhere. This bike path in Poland was made using thousands of tiny lights. This material is able to produce 10 hours of low-level lighting, and then in the sun it recharges. In France, there are 20 cities that have already implemented this change. You can use pedal power to charge your phone. You can also get free Wi-Fi through the bike. There's a safe zone in California that's watched over by cameras. The goal of this zone is so no one will get hurt or robbed while purchasing things in the city. Genius inventions that should exist everywhere. Some elevators in Asia have giant buttons on the floor that you can kick to mark what floor you're going to. This was designed to help people who are carrying things and can't press the buttons with their hands. There's a mall that lets you leave your dog in a safe spot while you shop. The spot has a security system so only you can open them, as well as lighting and air conditioning. In the United States, there's a shoe store that lets you test out the shoes on different surfaces. The test box includes gravel, asphalt, and even materials like Lego. Finally, there's a restaurant that gives you a controller with 3 buttons. The first button lets the waiter know when you're ready to order. The second is to let them know when you're ready to pay. And the third one is to cancel your order. The idea is to avoid the waiters from constantly asking you if you're ready to order. These inventions are so genius, they should be used everywhere. Stoplights in South Korea have a timer around the lights that inform you when the light will turn green. This invention has reduced car accidents by 50%. You no longer have to deal with hard-to-reach plugs with the Rambler plug. The plug can extend up to 5 feet, and all it takes to retract is a simple tug. This Let's Pizza vending machine is the only one in the world that can make tasty, fresh Italian pizza in 3 minutes. And it even has 4 different delicious flavors. This hot sauce actually lets you adjust how spicy it is. All you have to do is twist the top and boom, your spice is now adjusted. What's your genius invention? The most genius designs ever made. This street lamp is always holding an umbrella over this bench, so even when it's raining, you can stay dry. These carpet puzzle pieces make any hardwood floor look sick. Where can I get these? This sponge holder makes your sponge look like SpongeBob. Wow, I just said sponge like 5 times. Ladies and gentlemen, we finally made it. We finally have Band-Aids with different skin colors. Now this is smart. It's a fork that splits in half and turns into chopsticks. This mouse pad is a mini carpet. This is giving me major babushka vibes. This red light has an hourglass countdown so you can see exactly when the light turns green. This would be perfect for street racing, which, by the way, you shouldn't do because it's illegal.